What up, Ho Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. First and foremost, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized. I want to say a big, huge, wonderful thank you to all of you guys, but especially those of you guys who sent in super thanks during the holiday season. I really appreciate it. And I don't know, I just feel like I don't acknowledge it. Like, there's not enough that I can do to thank you. But like, I feel that way about all of you guys. Like, because there's 78,000 subs. I have 78,000 subs. And I also want you guys to know, I be recognizing the people who are in my comments constantly. I recognize your name. Chavez was talking to me about somebody. He's like, oh, so-and-so left a comment. I was like, oh yeah, that guy, how's he doing? Blah, blah, blah. My husband's like, you know who I'm talking about? Like, yeah, of course I know. So I just want you guys to know, I try to remind you guys like every couple of months, I be in my comments. I be lurking, I be reading my comments, I respond. Sometimes we get into little disagreements, but that's okay because sometimes families argue, they don't always get along. But just know that is nothing but love from this side. Unless you're awful, unless you just suck. And then in which case, like, I still love you, but keep that shit over there. Anyways, today we are back with some more SCP content. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it, so here we are. This is SCP-035, the Possessive Mask. Now, the reason why I'm watching this is because I think there is an episode of SCP Sedition that has to do with SCP-035. So I wanted to watch this video first to get kind of some background information before I watch the SCP Sedition video. I am still continuing with that series. I did kind of get lost. I got a little bit muddled and I got sick and busy, whatever. But we're back on it now, okay? It's 2024 and your girl is going to be more organized this year. I was kind of slacking last year in the organizational department. Anyways, I hope that you guys are excited to dive into this with me because I am very excited to see what this video has in store for us. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-035. Object Class: Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-035 is to be kept within a hermetically sealed glass case no fewer than 10 centimeters thick. This case is to be contained within a steel, iron, and lead-shielded room at all times.
Jesus.
Doors are to be triple locked at all times, with the exception of allowing personnel in or out.
Okay.
No fewer than 2 armed guards are to be posted at any time. Guards must remain outside at all times and are not allowed within the containment room under any circumstances. A trained psychologist is to remain on site at all times. Research personnel are not to touch SCP-035 at any time. SCP-035 must be moved to a new sealed case every 2 weeks.
Okay.
The previous case must be disposed of via SCP-101, as it shows no adverse reactions to SCP-035's corruption. Anyone who comes into contact with SCP-035 when it is in possession of a host is to be given an immediate psychological evaluation.
Okay, so before we get into this, I'm a little bit stressed out. This sounds like a lot of hoopla. This sounds like a lot of protection for a mask. What, like, I'm intrigued to see what is going on, but also if the guards aren't supposed to be, like, people are clearly not supposed to be touching this thing. The guards aren't supposed to go anywhere near it. How are they moving it to a new case every 2 weeks? Are they just picking a D class and they're like, fuck it, you're gonna get fucked over? But I mean, that sounds like the SCP Foundation, but I'm just asking, is that like how that's gonna work? I'm a little distressed. I'm a little disturbed. Anyone who comes into contact when they're in possession of a host, they're supposed to be given an immediate psychological evaluation. And then what? Like, okay, so you get the psychological evaluation and your mental's fucked up. Do they just like, or like, do you go into a mental health? Like, what happens? What happens next? There's not like, there's somehow like a lot of detail, but not enough. You feel me?
SCP-035 appears to be a white porcelain comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. In these events, all existing visual records, such as photographs, video footage, even illustrations of SCP-035, automatically change to reflect its new appearance.
Okay.
A highly corrosive and degenerative viscous liquid constantly seeps from the eye and mouth holes of SCP-035.
Oh.
Anything coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it has decayed completely into a pool of the original contaminant.
Got it. That's why they move it into a new case. Okay, I understand.
Glass seems to react the slowest to the effects of the item, hence the construction choice of its immediate container. Living organisms that come into contact with the substance react in much the same way, with no chance of recovery.
Oh.
Origin of the liquid is unknown. Liquid is only visible from the front and does not emerge or is even visible from the other side.
Okay. That's creepy. But also, so like if I touch it with my finger, can I just like chop my finger off real quick and like prevent the spread of the corruption? Or am I just fucked forever?
Subjects within 1.5 to 2 meters of SCP-035 or in visual contact with it experience a strong urge to put it on.
Damn.
When SCP-035 is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from SCP-035 overlaps that of the original host, effectively snuffing it out and causing brain death to the subject.
Oh, damn. I just thought but no, it takes out your brain. I thought it just like kind of covered it up or what. Damn.
Subject then claims to be the consciousness contained within SCP-035. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses. Nevertheless, SCP-035 has demonstrated the ability to remain in cognitive control of a body experiencing severe structural damage, even if the subject's body literally decays to the point where motion is not mechanically possible.
Okay.
No effect is found to be had when placed on the face of an animal.
Peter would have a field day with that.
Conversations with SCP-035 have proven to be informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general, as SCP-035 claims to have been at many monumentous events. SCP-035 displays a highly intelligent and charismatic personality, being both amiable and flattering to all those who speak with it. SCP-035 has scored on the 99th percentile on all intelligence and aptitude tests administered to it, and appears to have a photographic memory.
Got it. That all sounds like the ear markers of a freaking crazy person. So sorry. This does not sound good. No. But I don't trust people who are too nice or too charming. I don't trust none of that. If it's too good to be true, it's not true.
However, psychological analysis has discovered SCP-035 to possess a highly manipulative nature, capable of forcing sudden and profound changes to interviewers' psychological state.
That tracks.
SCP-035 has proven to be highly sadistic, prompting some to commit suicide and transforming others into near mindless servants with linguistic persuasion alone.
Damn.
SCP-035 has stated that it has intimate knowledge of the workings of the human mind and implied that it can change anyone's views if given enough time.
But why use those for evil? Use your powers for good.
SCP-035 was found sealed in a crypt in an abandoned house in Venice in 18... Addendum 3501. SCP-035 has been found to be able to possess anything that has a humanoid shape, including mannequins, corpses, and statues.
That's interesting.
SCP-035 has been able to motivate all into movement, removing the need to expose live subjects to SCP-035.
That's actually really cool.
Still, anything it possesses inevitably decays into motionlessness.
I mean, yeah.
Addendum 3502. SCP-035 has facilitated an escape attempt, convincing several of the research staff to aid it in its bid for freedom.
Oh no!
Insurrection failed. All staff that have been in contact with SCP-035 have been terminated, and mandatory psychiatric evaluations have been implemented for all personnel coming into contact with SCP-035.
Yeesh.
Addendum 3503. It has been determined that SCP-035 is capable of telepathy, whether or not it possesses a host.
That's bad. No, this is getting worse and worse.
The pressure is getting worse.
Even penetrating to the subconscious of others, and using the knowledge it finds to its advantage. Extreme caution is advised when choosing subjects to converse with SCP-035.
Right.
Addendum 3504. SCP-35 has expressed interest in other SCPs, most notably SCP-4715 and SCP-682. Dr. has expressed worry that should SCP-35 bond with either, their regenerative qualities would negate its corruption and give it a permanent host.
Which sounds like a terrible idea, to me personally. Now, I already know that the 682 is the giant lizard that hates people, right? But what is 4715? That's what they said, right? 4715? It looked like some sort of big bear thing. Okay, I've never seen anything about it, so I'll have to look that one up later. But no, keep it away. Why is it not like at the bottom of the ocean or something? Oh, I guess then it would be corrupting things. Damn, there's not a lot of options here.
Addendum 3505. After several more escape attempts, after reviewing SCP-35's incident record, High Command has ordered that it be permanently sealed within the facility and prohibited from being allowed any more hosts.
Which y'all should have been done.
Several personnel have protested against this, with some even erupting into violence.
Yeah.
As a direct result, all personnel that have come into contact with SCP-35 have been terminated.
Ugh.
Going forward, all personnel that deal with SCP-35 are to be rotated frequently, and contact is to be limited, even to its dormant state, to as little as possible.
Like a little cult leader.
Addendum 3506.
There's a lot of fucking addendums, bro. Y'all didn't know shit about shit when you got this thing.
Personnel within 10 meters of SCP-35 have recently reported feeling unease, stating that they can hear unintelligible whispering.
10 meters is crazy.
Several others have suffered from severe migraines. Object has been monitored, but there is no change in its dormant behavior, and no sounds have been recorded.
That don't mean nothing.
The motion to reinstate SCP-35's host privileges has been brought up once more, if only on a temporary basis, to discover these new changes in the object's behavior.
Don't let him fool
Denied.
you. Yeah, as it should be.
Addendum 3507.
All right.
The walls of SCP-35's containment cell have suddenly begun secreting a black substance.
Ooh.
Tests on the substance have revealed it to be human blood, although highly contaminated with several foreign and unknown agents. Substance is corrosive, having a pH of 4.5, and prolonged exposure to the walls has proven to be detrimental to their structural integrity.
Damn. He said, y'all not finna keep me in here. You can't stop me. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
More notably, it seems to be forming patterns on the walls. Several segments seem to be paragraphs in various languages, including Italian, Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit.
All right.
Translation is pending.
This can't be good.
Other segments appear to be diagrams depicting ritualistic sacrifice and mutilation, often for the arcane benefit of the person committing them.
Maybe we don't translate it. Maybe we just let him do his little thing, draw his little pictures, write his little things, and maybe we leave him the fuck alone.
Several staff members have been shocked to note that all of the sacrifices bear an uncanny resemblance to various personnel and their loved ones, often in conflicting positions. Researchers, while in the room examining these newly formed patterns, have complained of hearing loud whispering and high-pitched, unnerving laughter at irregular intervals.
Alrighty.
Personnel in the section working daily near and around SCP-35's containment unit have suffered catastrophic morale damage,
Jesus.
with an all-time high in suicide rates in staff in that area, whether or not they have ever had contact with SCP-35.
So this is where they send you when you're on punishment. Got it.
The only change in SCP-35's dormant behavior is regarding its contained glass case. Degradation of the case has increased to a high degree, enough so that the glass will occasionally shatter, causing a wide dispersal of SCP-35's contaminant. This occurs quite often at the most inopportune times, so far resulting in 6 casualties and 3 fatalities of both research and cleanup staff.
Wow.
Addendum 3508. In light of the mass suicide and homicide of the members of the research team tasked with translating the passages garnered from SCP-35's containment cell, the morale damage in the area, and general loss of staff dealing with SCP-35 to either death or insanity, it has been decided to coat the inner and outer walls of its containment cell with SCP-148, which has proved well in the containment of SCP-132.
Yeah, I need a notebook because I need to write down SCP-148 and SCP-132. So let me just open up some things. 148 and SCP-132. Okay, and then we'll get into what those are at the end of the video.
In order to hopefully block out the high levels of negativity being emitted by SCP-035.
Okay.
Addendum 3509. The use of SCP-148 has worked well, causing morale and suicide rates to return to near pre-SCP-35 rates.
Nice, okay.
However, the material appears to facilitate the negativity within its cell,
Of course.
causing a veritable greenhouse effect inside.
Yeah, like an ozone
Personnel
layer type
inside the
thing.
cell have stated that they
Okay.
feel a heavy sense of dread, fear, anger, and general depression, as well
Right.
as hearing a constant, nearly inaudible whispering upon immediate entry.
Which would drive me nuts.
A prolonged stay causes severe migraines, suicidal tendencies, heavy hemorrhaging of blood vessels around the eyes and inside the mouth and nose, general hostility to others, and for the whispering to increase to almost deafening volumes, intersected by constant mocking laughter. Exposure of more than 3 hours inevitably results in the subject falling into a deep psychosis
3
and
hours?
attempting to harm either themselves or others.
Right.
Most spoke Latin or Greek, despite the fact that several did not previously know how to speak said languages beforehand.
At least you walk out of it with a new skill.
The presence of blood in both word and diagram formations has increased disproportionately, the walls becoming cluttered and the formations beginning to overlap each other.
Right.
The substance is proven to be both difficult to clean and even more corrosive than was originally recorded, with a pH of roughly 2.4.
Oh.
General estimation gives the current walls a life of 2 months before they will need replacement.
Now this is just getting expensive.
It is becoming gradually more and more difficult to contain SCP-035, and the debate to reinstate its host privileges has once again come up. Denied.
As it should
Addendum
be.
3510. The walls, ceiling, and floor of SCP-035's containment cell have now been completely saturated in blood. All personnel entering and guarding the area must wear full hazmat protection suits. Constant cleaning efforts are being instated.
There's got to be a way to clean it that doesn't require people to do it. There's got to be. There's so much technology. Y'all have access to so many things.
Addendum 3511. The magnitude, intensity, and reoccurrence of the phenomena that occur within SCP-035's containment cell have increased to an alarming degree.
Which is saying something because it's already alarming. This is already distressing.
The cell door has been known to become locked of its own accord while personnel are inside
Ow.
and unable to be opened for a period of time.
Oh.
Appendages form out of the larger puddles of blood and often attempt to grab or harm personnel near them.
What?
Blurry apparitions have started appearing to staff. Electronic devices now no longer work inside the cell,
Oh.
and the light cannot be turned on, though
Okay.
there is no physical reason why it doesn't work, forcing those entering to use non-electric based light sources.
This is not getting better.
Cleaning measures are having no discernible effect on the cell, and the walls are degrading at a very high rate, forcing them to be replaced within a week at best. Although the blood makes it nearly impossible to properly achieve this.
Right. I'm curious about how they're how? How are you replacing the walls if you can't even get near the thing? That doesn't make any sense to me. How are you guys doing this?
SCP-035 may have to be moved to a new cell entirely, with the old one sealed off and disengaged from the rest of the facility.
Right. Do you have any good news for
Okay.
me? No.
I
Okay.
think that about does it for today.
Sure.
Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed.
All right. Thanks, buddy. There was no good news in there. There was no... It does not seem like it is getting better. In fact, it seems like it's getting much, much worse. My hair is like doing crazy things today. I don't know. Anyway, this is all bad. Is there an update to this? How long ago did this come out? This came out 3 years ago. Do we have an update? Have we discovered anything that can help us fix this? But I do agree with them not giving him another host. Like, I don't think that that's a good idea. And like, as bad as all of this is, somehow that seems like it would be worse. You feel me? Y'all feel me? Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, I said that we were going to talk about SCP-148 and SCP-132. Okay, so SCP-148 says here it's called the Telekill alloy. It's a metallic substance composed of a variety of known and unknown elements. It's able to block or otherwise hinder extrasensory, mind-affecting properties of living organisms in proximity to it. Okay, and then what is SCP-132, which is what it was used for before? A series of glass tetrahedrons. They contain a patch of desert sand and occasionally scorpions. That doesn't tell me anything, but I'm assuming it's bad. I'll look into it another time. But SCP-148, it seems like it's like 50-50. Like it was both good and bad for this situation. So I guess we'll see what happens, or we won't, you know. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. And other than that, peace out, hope biscuits. It's Skittenlit.